I don't have a slide, so I'm relying on my words. But so the title, when Monica invited me to present to this, I thought I could do just one thing because we have 3 minutes. So there's a notion that I've been working on for the last probably three to 4 years, which is past futures. And there are 3 things that I think are important in connection to that, which in my view connect to mobilities and place. So my take on mobilities is largely about place and cities. So past futures connects to the ways in which the future has been envisioned in the past. So it's a very simple idea in the sense that when we think about the future of cities like Lancaster today, for example, it is useful to look at how Lancaster, the future of Lancaster was envisioned, say, in 1850 or in 1700, etc. That's the first aspect of past futures. The second is to do with the cultures of expertise and ownership of that envisioning. So who did it? With what kinds of skills? Surrounded by what kinds of groups? And in some cases it is professionals. Think about architects, engineers, politicians, etc. But also it can be very mundane, utopian, dystopian, etc. The third aspect is to do with what I call symbols of futurity and the politics of myth-making that is connected to that. So often the future is portrayed, sometimes we come across very compelling images that actually create an idea about the future to become or yet to be realized, while at the same time that symbol actually obscures a number of important realities that vision is not responding to, and I'll explain that in a minute. So that's past futures on the one hand. On the other hand, there's this which connects to the project Mobile Utopias. It's a very arbitrary chronology, which is 1851, 2051. So I guess to a degree it's arbitrary because it could have been 1850 or 1852 and 2050 and 2051. But there's a rationale behind it. The rationale being, for example, that 1851 is the year of the census when England, the population of England and Wales, the census showed that the majority of people was living in cities. So it stopped being a countryside environment to become an urbanized, countryside and political organization. The estimates of the UN for the population in 2051 is 9.6 billion inhabitants, the majority of that growth taking place in Africa and Asia. So I think there's a story to be told in connection to the relationship between mobilities and place that actually is driven by urbanization, and I think we need to understand that fully. So in the case of Mobile Utopias, what we're trying to do is to try and open up that discussion about the future and who takes part in that process and through which mechanisms that we can facilitate. Partly because if we think about, so if I may ask you a question, this is probably completely unexpected, but if I may ask you a question, when was the last time that you thought about the future of the street where you live? And that actually raises a set of important notions as to the future being decided for you, and you perhaps, or us, not just blaming you, but us not taking part fully and meaningfully in how that future is envisioned. And I think it is important. I'll leave it there.